Giant cranes spring into action over Intel Ohio 1. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy, Luca Tiki, and we are in the air in New Albany, Ohio to take a look at the progress over Intel Ohio. It's been a few weeks. We've had some unfavorable weather here in Ohio, but now as we've turned to spring, we'll be able to take a closer look at what is going on. So we'll go ahead and punch in and take a first look at the fab and tilt down to take a look at the office building basement and rise to the sky to see the boom tips. You just cannot get over the scale of these giant cranes. We're going to go ahead and punch in on Fab 1 here, and I really want to direct your attention to the left part of the screen, the highest panels or slabs that have been placed. One is currently tied to the crane. You can see those 4 ties and 2 yellow cross members. We'll get a closer look at that activity later on, but that is tied off to the lee beer. We'll go ahead and pull back and give you a full appreciation of this 926 acre site. Just absolutely massive in scale. We're going to go ahead and pan the drone to the right to take a look at the Commodities infrastructure that supports the fabs, and the progress has been substantial. As we zoom on in to take a look at a rather large area that has been readied for another concrete pour. And here you'll see the block for that lee beer coming down, and humans for scale there on that slab that's getting ready to be lifted into the sky. But another pan left here to really zoom in, see that detail on Fab 1. That's really come a long way since I started flying here last summer. And so just a big establishing shot. And there you can see now the block has been released from the placed panel. It's going to go and prep itself for its next lift. These panels are absolutely massive. But really some considerable progress has been made. Forgive the blurry pixels. We're a little punched in with the digital zoom to help you see some of this detail. It's just a massive site, and the drone can't get very close. Here's a great shot of the lee beer. Look at the thickness of those concrete slabs. Again, this will be the clean room floor. So it's very important that everything is incredibly stable and vibration resistant. Below the clean room is the clean sub-fab level, and below that is the utility level. I'll get a schematic one of these days and overlay it so that you can see the 4 levels that make up modern semiconductor fabs. So we'll go ahead and reposition the drone. Big slide to the right. As I mentioned, this is nearly 1,000-acre site. Parking lots in the foreground, support infrastructure. Those are columns there on the left center part of the screen. Trades hovels as well, and the Quonset huts, all the way back to a farm there that has massively tall silos. But in the foreground, Fab 1, the office building. And just take a long slide to the right here to reposition the drone. Supporting Commodities infrastructure, and now some contractors, trailers. And then in the green and blue, and those 4 big items. So we're going to go ahead and punch on in and take a closer look at the Commodities and infrastructure. The 2 building shells have come along considerably since we were last in the air. Not exactly sure what they house. If you do know, please let me know and put a comment down below. Go ahead and pull on back. At right is part of the laydown yard. Miscellaneous. And as we pan back to the left, just to get a sense for the complexity that goes on. And again, that's just the first fab. Intel Ohio 1, Phase 1 will be 2 fabs. We'll take a closer look at Fab 2's progress here momentarily. And there's a good look at the bathtub of the office building. Not much going on this Sunday. So I'll again reposition the drone. We're going to slide to the right, heading to the west, looking south from the vantage point of the drone. There's that laydown yard, all the green and blue and white items to be distributed over the site in the coming months and years. Now coming into the foreground is the AEP electrical substation. And we'll get a closer look of that in the moment. The transformers have been set up. There are blast walls between them. Those are the rectangles there. I'm counting 5, I believe. These things are just absolutely massive. And then all the supporting infrastructure, lines, tie-in, come in on massive pylons. I quickly put a new battery in the drone and got back in the air because I noticed, as you'll see, that crane in yellow closest to us is on the move, has an empty block. So we're going to go ahead and watch what happens here. Everything is sped up 2x. We'll go ahead and take a closer look and just follow the line. There you can see the block coming down. We'll go ahead and zoom on in. I make the joke all the time, but humans for scale. You can see them there on that slab waiting to connect. So of course I figured I'd get a better angle, clear those 2 tanks, and take a closer look. I've not been able to confirm the size of those panels, but a pretty good guess is 20 foot by 20 foot. Again, if anyone knows more accurately, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. So these workers working at double time are going to secure that slab. 4 embeds to tie off and connect the rigging. Seem to be having some trouble with this particular one. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the video play here. And an adorable little tug is going to come into view here. It's got that hook on the back. It's going to reach in, lift up that flatbed. Take that out of the way once the load is in the air. Okay, you can see the crane taking up the tension. I'm going to be in the air very soon as the workers check out the load and make sure everything is good to go. And we are in the air. Man, it rotates a bit. Just a massive piece of concrete that's fabricated on site. Again, thinking it's about 400 square feet, easily a foot thick. It's not solid. I'm sure there are cavities put in it as part of the process. I have seen online schematics for this waffling type structure that ensures rigidity without added weight. But again, very important that the clean room floor be stable, vibration resistant. So we're going to go ahead and watch this load fly through the air. Again, at double time, everything is sped up 2x. I was quite surprised to actually see the cranes in action on a Sunday. But I guess it makes sense. The winds were nice for a change. And with fewer people on the ground, less people that could be impacted should something horribly go wrong. So we'll go ahead and pull out and just give you a scale of where this is going to fly through the air. And we'll watch as it goes. So as I've repositioned the drone to see clearly where I think it might be coming down, a quick calculation: if it's 20 foot by 20 foot by 1 foot, that would be 400 cubic feet of concrete. Assuming it were solid, that would be something like 60,000 pounds or 30 tons. Surely it's considerably less, but for a top-end estimate to give you an idea of what that potentially could be. And of course, the panel seems to have stopped right behind the red tower crane. The tower cranes are fixed, whereas the yellows are crawler cranes and mobile to reposition. So repositioning myself, you can see a few workers standing up there. Again, this will be for the clean subfab floor. That's one level up from the utility level down below. And then on top of this will be another set of concrete pillars and slabs. Those slabs will be the clean room floor. So we'll go ahead and watch this be positioned. Just amazing the precision that these crane operators can provide with just massive loads hanging out there. Little light breeze today, maybe 9 miles an hour, gusts up to 15 or so. Quite a bit of mass and momentum there. And as the operators come up in the cherry pickers at right, we'll watch them lay this in there. Now the crane has taken off the tension. You can see the rigging lines relax. Workers quickly move in to disconnect it. And just like that, in a few minutes, again, what you just saw was sped up 2x. But they have placed another concrete slab in the air. One down, thousands more to go. So we'll go ahead and pull on back and give you a broader view of what you've just seen. And take a pan to the left. So we're going to go ahead and keep panning to the left here. Just the sheer complexity of this job site never ceases to amaze me. So intricate, so massive, so many things going on. A credit to all the project managers and logicians who figure out how to get work done. I'm going to go pan back right. I had noticed something, so quickly want to get back into position here. Apologies for the speed here, a little faster than I like to operate, but I had noticed something peculiar. That's the boom of the Liebherr 12,500. Notice the high performance boom there. And it's got a load on, as you can see there in the center of your picture. That is a slab for the clean room floor. So we'll go ahead and punch on in and take a closer look. No embeds in the top of it. It is rigged differently. You can see those guy wires or ropes hanging off it. That allows the workers to control it as it comes in for placement. Just now coming into view is an empty block from another one of the Liebherrs. Its rigging lines slack there. So let's take a look. You can see the workers down at the bottom of your screen standing on the slab. I was so happy to capture all of this action today. I hope you enjoy it. We've been staring at these cranes for a long time, for the last 8 months, 9 months at this point. So I'll go ahead and gain some altitude here, give you a better perspective, 2 for 1. In the background, the clean room floor, and in the foreground, they've just lifted off with 1 for the clean sub. I'll go ahead and orbit around. Again, this is double time. The tug comes in, grab the flatbed, off it will go. Keen observers will see it in the background of a few of these other shots when we're placing the slabs. And you can see there left, the workers have almost placed the 1 for the clean room floor. And we're going to go ahead and follow the clean subfab level slab and see where it's going to be placed. A quick observation, deep in the background, you can see all of those concrete pillars laying down in the staging yard, ready to be erected later on. This is the first fab in the foreground. Immediately to the right, to the south, is the second fab, which will constitute phase 1 of Intel Ohio 1. So just a slow pan to the right as we follow this load. Again, this is sped up 2 times. Probably already feels like watching paint dry for some of you out there, but I appreciate you watching all the same. Your viewership means everything. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below. For the uninitiated crane enthusiasts out there, you'll notice that the counterweights are on a truck that kind of a semicircle shape that follows the pivot point of the main crane. It's on its crawlers, and then closest to you are counterweights on giant wheels that are in a semicircle behind the main body of the crane. All right, we'll reposition the drone. Almost uncanny how it always lines up behind the tower crane. And there you can see the workers coming in to receive the ropes. We'll go ahead and punch on in. Again, forgive the quality of the digital zoom, but I'm something like 3/4 of a mile away from where these workers are. A lot of mass hanging out there. It's remarkable what a hand on a rope can do to position such a enormous weight. And again, up come the cherry pickers, ready to help ensure alignment for this clean subfab level slab. And as we pull on back, there go one of those tugs in the background with the flatbed, ready to grab another slab and make its way back. So a rather large reveal here, just to give you again some scope and scale of what you've just seen. A couple of slabs placed today here at Intel Ohio 1. Make sure you get the boom tip into view. So we'll go ahead and slide the drone to the south along the western edge. The parking lot is nearly empty today. And here is the area of the site where those slabs are fabricated in the Quonset huts in the foreground. Giant yellow gantry cranes. And additional stock on site. I was trying to get a view of the excess lot there at right, but couldn't make out what I saw. So one last pan across the whole site rather quickly. All the way up to the AEP switchyard, looking north towards the direction of Johnstown. And we'll go back across the site. Things should be turning green here in Ohio in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to some sunnier and warmer days. A little cold standing out there today. And that has been Intel Ohio 1 on Sunday, March 23rd, 2005. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week.